So for someone looking to increase the visibility and the credibility of themselves and their business, how would a book help them do that?
Yeah, well, another area of business that I think a lot of people, if they're experts and they've got expertise, they should be doing is getting more speaking engagements and being on stage. It's a very leveraged way of sharing your message and connecting with people that might be interested in your message. I know when we published our first book, it really helped us to find new speaking engagements because we had an excuse. We could say, right, we're now the authors of XYZ book. I mean, our book at the time was called The Gorillas Want Bananas. And people instantly, you know, people that book and find speakers are like, yeah, there's an instant credibility level of saying I've got a book. So from that side, actually getting in there is good. But from the other side, building your speaking experience, you're going to have to do a lot of free gigs. And a great way of making sure you get paid, even if you're not getting paid directly, is to have some product to sell at the back of the room. So having books with you, you can work out how many books you're likely to sell. Take a little pile of books along and say, you know, I may have made a couple of £100, but it was worth it because I'm in front of the audience. Again, it's being paid to promote your business rather than paying or not being paid at all to promote your business. And the great thing is there is a celebrity factor to signing a book. I mean, I was a nobody. This was a self-published book, but people were, oh, can you sign my book? And then other people see, what's this person that's been having his book signed? And you get cues for me. It's a really interesting effect. And people want to talk to you afterwards. There's so much credibility. So I would always say, if you plan on adding speaking to part of your marketing mix, if you've got a book first, it makes the job a lot easier because you can get paid even if you're not being paid directly.
Yeah.
And you're more likely to be booked because you've got that authority factor from being an author.
And then of course you get the lead through to the sale after that because you've got all those people that have bought the book. I'm one of those people that buys books when I hear people speak because if I like them I want to know more about them. It's that's the lead in to be able to then take the next step and then use you for your service.
And if you've got somebody else handling the sales process, the great thing is, I mean, this is actually a trick. If you are a speaker, once you finish, run back to your table and sit behind the books because people always want to talk to the speaker.
Yeah.
If they say actually there's a queue forming and there's a book and you're saying, you can literally presuppose they're going to buy the book and say, would you like this signed? And so then people, you save your time then for people that are genuinely engaged in your message and are ready to maybe move that relationship on a bit. So that was a useful thing I found, but you've got to run back. If you're taking your own orders, be there ready to sign and get behind the table. If somebody else is taking the orders, this goes back to your point, you should ask them if they want an invoice or actually insist because then you can get their email address. Then you can follow up with them.
Of course.
And how nice would it be that the speaker they've just seen, so there's a high level of credibility, who's also an author, then calls them personally to find out what they thought about what they said. It could be a very powerful way of growing business.